one of my favorite times of the week. Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, with my Facebook friends and family. I love being here. I love how it helps me to focus myself for my week to come, and that I'm able to pass that on to folks like you who just want to get a good start to a great week. And Sunday nights, sometimes we can spend them dreading what's going on. Hi, Barbara, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Just talking a little bit about how Sunday nights can sometimes feel like such a dread. And we just look ahead to the week and think, oh my gosh, I'm never going to make it. It's awful. And I just love taking a few minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, to just intentionally decide that we're going to have a great week. And we're going to do everything we can to do it, to make it happen. Jackie, hi, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. And let's see, I've got to squeeze in for this one. Fazal, I hope I'm saying that right. Fazal, welcome. I'm glad you joined me. Glad you joined us on Sunday Night Live. I am your host, Shannon LaBruyere, and I am live and loving it. I really am. Thank you for being here. It's such an honor. Before I get started on the subject that I'm going to talk about tonight, I wanted to give a huge shout out to the folks from the Apostolic Church of Flat Rock. Hi, Emma. Hi, Chris. Welcome. Last Sunday, I went and facilitated a leadership game with the folks from the Apostolic Church of Flat Rock, and they were amazing. They are such a great team, people who want to grow and get better at what they do. They want to be more of an influence on the people that they serve through the church, and also the people that they serve through their jobs. They were just really into growing, and I thought it was amazing. So thank you, mwah, Apostolic Church of Flat Rock, you rock. And also had a great time talking to the National Association of Career Women in Port Huron. They had their first meeting of 2019 was this past Wednesday, and I was the honored speaker, and it was amazing. Those ladies really leaned in to learning how to thrive and change, and we had a great time. So a shout out to you. I'm thinking we've got a few new watchers because of those two events. And if you are a first-time watcher of Sunday Night Live, welcome and thank you for being here. And I want to encourage you to go hit like on the Support Life with Shannon LaBruyere page, because that's where I post news and events and interesting stuff. And you can always go to shannonlabruyere.com and sign up for my email list. So with that said, let's jump right in to, one last thing. On Monday, tomorrow, which is January 14th, 2019, for those of you who are in the Detroit metro area, the Shelby Township Optimist Club has their first meeting of January in Shelby Township at the Hamlin Pub at 22 and Hayes. So yeah, thumbs up. So if you're somewhere near there, the Optimist Club is open to guests. You can come and see what it's like. And I'm going to be doing a presentation about failure and how to fail forward. I would love to see you there. So if you're in the Detroit metro area, Monday night, January 14th, 7 p.m. at the Hamlin Pub in Shelby Township, 22 and Hayes. I hope to see you there. I'd love to meet you, shake your hand, hug your neck, all that good stuff. All right, now let's get started with tonight's topic. The first place to look if you can't find your dream. The first place to look if you can't find your dream. So, in one way, dreams are a little bit like car keys. You don't know they've gone missing until you want to go somewhere, and then all of a sudden you are painfully aware that something is missing. I don't know how many times I have been, yeah, thumbs up, you've been there, right? I don't know how many times I have been ready to go out to meet a client, go to an event, got tickets in my purse, and go to leave to get in the car and realize I can't find my car keys. How many of you have done that? Can't find them. And Lord knows they've been missing all day, but I never noticed until 5 minutes before it was an emergency and I needed them. And losing your dream is sometimes a little bit like that. we can coast along life. You know, things are going well. I'll use myself as an example. Julie, I'm glad to see you here. Welcome. At the beginning of this broadcast, Julie, I gave a huge shout out to the NACW in Port Huron. So make sure you back it up after we're done and see. I really loved you guys and I said some good stuff about you. So I'm glad you joined. All right, so I use myself as an example when it comes to dreaming. For years, I was in a large organization that offered me lots of opportunities, open doors, if you will. And so I never really had to plan what I was going to do. It just seemed like at the right time, something popped up. And I would walk through an open door and I got to do something that I really loved. Maybe I got to go and sit on a committee to figure out how to make all of our buildings non-smoking. That was one of the first special assignments I got way back in the late 80s. And I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was a great opportunity. And then I went back to unloading trucks and driving a forklift. And then I had an opportunity to be a secretary. I was like, oh, that'll be cool. Somebody asked me to do it, I'll do it. And I did. And it worked out great. It was fine. And I was busy. My kids were in school. I had a lot going on. And, busy life. And kind of in the career routine. I didn't really have any plans. But hey, if something cool pops up, I'll do it. And that served me well. And it may be serving you well. And so if you're trucking along just fine and you're not feeling this nagging suspicion that something is missing or that you wish something were better, that is okay. I'm not trying to tell you that you aren't successful or that you aren't doing well. Frank, I'm glad to see you here. Glad you joined. So if you're happy and content, that's not a problem. I was happy and content, and it wasn't a problem. But like the car keys, it wasn't a problem until it became a problem. And I lost my position. All of my opportunities in my nice, easy, go with the flow, walk through the open doors, just kind of take whatever comes my way, that process failed me. They eliminated the entire district that I worked in. It was gone. The whole structure, all of those opportunities, gone. Yeah, I'm seeing some thumbs up. Has that ever happened to you? You thought things were going just fine. You weren't missing a thing. But like your car keys, all of a sudden you realize, I can't lay my hands on my dream. Wait, what am I going to do next? I have no idea, right? It's not an emergency until it becomes an emergency. So if you're in that place where you're all of a sudden realizing, wait a second, my life is kind of stuck and I'm at a standstill and I don't know what I want to do next. And I haven't even thought about what I want to do next. This is a process that you can follow because dreams are not exactly like car keys. Sure, Samantha, hi. Sure, we don't miss our dreams until the emergency hits, until maybe we lose our job or we have a major life event that like smacks us in the head and says, okay, yeah, what were you thinking? This, slinging tacos at Taco Bell is not a 30-year career, right? Which also happened to me, by the way. Using a lot of my own kind of sensitive examples today. But dreams aren't always, hold on, let me start again. Dreams are like car keys because we all of a sudden notice we need them almost at the time we need them. And then it's an emergency. It's almost too late. So dreams are like that, like car keys in that regard. But when you lose something, when you lose your car keys, what does your spouse or your mom or your boyfriend ask you? What's the first question they ask you? Where did you have them last? Where did you have them last? No matter what we lose, it seems like somebody's asking us, well, where did you have it last? And that might work for car keys. Yeah, I actually was loading groceries and one time lost my car keys in the freezer. That is not a place I would ordinarily look for car keys ever. So it took me a really long time to find them. I was driving with my spare key for quite a while until they turned up right there between the ice cream and the fish sticks. So looking in the last place you had them sometimes works. But what I've discovered is it doesn't work like that with dreams. And this is why. Looking in the last place you remember having a dream is not always relevant to today. So you could go back in your past and start looking, okay, when was the last time I had a dream? And you might find out that the last time you had a dream, you were about 9 years old and you wanted to be an astronaut / police officer / Wonder Woman, possibly. Not a bad dream for a kid, but not a great dream for an adult, right? Because we can't be all of those things. Looking in the past for our dream, what did we want to be 20 years ago and we just didn't do it? Maybe when I went to college, I wanted to be a journalist. I thought I was going to write. I was going to maybe teach people how to write. I was really passionate about writing and I love journalism. I had a great journalism newspaper advisor, Gloria Ullman, and she inspired me. I thought I could be like her. But when I got on my path, my easy path, walking through the open doors, and then all of a sudden my job disappears, I touched base with that dream back there the last time I remembered having one, and I didn't want to go to school to be a journalist anymore. I was 50 years old. I didn't want to be a teacher anymore. It wasn't my dream. So looking for our dream in the past, not always very helpful. Of course, it's not here now, because if it were here now, we would know it and we wouldn't be wondering, how do we find it? You might be surprised where your dream is hiding. It's hiding in the year 2024. That's where your dream is. If you can't find your dream, I want you to go looking for it, not way back then. I want you to look for it way out there. Cassidy, I'm so glad you're here. Samantha, I'm glad you joined. You're here just at the best time. You're getting the key part, where to find your dream. It's in the year 2024. So that seems ridiculous maybe, but give me a little bit of time here and I think you're going to see what I mean. If we're trying to find our dream and we're trying to look right in front of our face, we are so blinded by all the stuff we have to do, all of the reasons why our dream won't work, all of the junk and the clutter and the negativity that gets in our way in the day-to-day. But if we can take a deep breath, and I'm going to tell you the process in just a minute, if we can take a deep breath and put ourselves out just far enough where it feels like, you know what, I don't have to worry about 2024, but it's not so far away that it seems like we'll never get there. Gina, hi, thanks for jumping on. So if you're looking for your dream and you don't have it, I want you to take a deep breath, close your eyes, and I want you to picture yourself 5 years from now in 2024. Got it? All right. The next step is think about being happy. So you're not just out in 2024, and I don't want you to think about it like it's somewhere far away. I want you to take that trip and go there. Like Marty McFly, right? Get in that DeLorean and take a trip back to the future. I want you to go to 2024 and actually be there, and I want you to be happy. That is so key. Being happy, when you picture this, is going to unlock some things in your brain that you didn't even know were seized up. And unlocking those feelings, getting in touch with that idea of, you know what, it's 2024 and I'm really happy, is going to help you to start finding your dream. Okay, so step one, you're going to imagine that you are in 2024. The next thing is, not only are you there, you are happy. You're filled with joy. You're content. You're peaceful. You're energized. You know your purpose. I want you to take a deep dive into feeling what it feels like to be happy in 5 years. Hi, Missy. I'm glad you're here. So, step one, you're going to go 5 years into the future, 2024, Then you're going to make sure that you're getting connected with, I'm in the future and I'm happy. And feel those feelings. This doesn't happen in 2 seconds, by the way. Give yourself a half hour, uninterrupted. The moms of you who are on this Facebook, that might mean that you go to the Panera Bread drive-thru, get a cup of tea, and then sit in the parking lot for a half hour before your kids get home from school, or while you're waiting to pick them up from school. Whatever you have to do, get about a half hour, be peaceful, and let yourself imagine 2025, and you are happy, content, excited. You are in the best place you have ever been in your life. We're talking about finding your dream now. It's out there. You're happy, you're content. The next thing I want you to do is ask your future self a question. Where are you at? What do you see? This isn't going to happen like this, but I promise you, if you ask yourself the question, here I am, it's 2025, and I am happy. I am in my element. I am loving life. Where am I at? What do I see? Who am I with? You can make a list of questions if you want. Not yes or no questions. I mean specific questions. Who am I with? Maybe it's the name of a person. Maybe it's just a boyfriend, a husband, a wife. Maybe it's I'm with my colleagues. Whatever that is. But spend some time with future self and ask yourself these questions. Who am I with? What do I see? What does it look like around here? Am I in the country? Am I in the city? Am I in a house? Am I in a business? Am I driving a car? Where you feel happy is where your dreams reside. And sometimes we can't find happy right now. But we can look forward to our future. Ask our future self, what's making you happy? What's awesome right now in your life? And listen to those answers. Because your future self knows what your dream is. Your future self knows what makes you happy. Yeah. Your future self knows how you got there. Your future self knows how you got to that happy, content, joyful place. Your future self knows what pitfalls you need to avoid. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, this is ridiculous, Shannon, there is no way I could do this. First of all, I want you to know, I do this with my clients all the time. And their minds are blown at what they discover when they take a few minutes to connect with their future self. I've done it myself. The first time I did this was back in 2015. And I'm going to be a little transparent here, and I'm going to share with you what I saw when I connected with my future self. I had just lost a job that I loved and that I'd had for about 15 years. I had no opportunities ahead of me in the organization in which I worked. There was nothing on the horizon. I didn't want to leave that organization and go out and start something new from scratch. I had a whole list of things I didn't want to do. And my coach sat down with me and said, all right, Shannon, I want you to picture your future. Jennifer, hi, I'm glad you're here. Welcome. So for me, when I did this exercise, projected myself out to the future 5 years, which would have, at that time, that would have been 2020. And she said, Shannon, think about where are you at in 2020. You're happy, you're content, you're just in your element, you are just thriving. What are you doing? And I had a vision of me on a platform in a big venue, and there were I wasn't performing. I was getting ready to speak is what I was doing. But while I was doing that, there were people behind me backstage that were unloading things like books and all kinds of like materials that they would be passing out to this huge crowd. And I was standing there getting ready to present something amazing and mind-boggling to this group. And when I got that vision, I was flooded with joy. I want you to know your dream is hiding where your joy's at. When you find that joy, when you find that happy place, your dream is going to be there. And when we can't connect with happy now, we can connect with our future self. What's making us happy in 5 years? We're in a great place. It's powerful, people. It is powerful. And I'm not the only one who does it. I do it with myself. I do it with my clients. But I read a great book, and the author escapes me, so you can probably Google it. But it was the person who wrote it is a poker player. How many of you are poker players? She is a poker player, and she titled her book Thinking in Bets. So she's a psychologist, and she is a world champion poker player. I see a poker player on there. Great. She's a psychologist and a world champion poker player. And she talks about how when she was learning to be a great world-class poker player, that they would actually do that exercise of connecting with their future self and then asking future self some questions. How did you get successful? What were some of the pitfalls that you avoided? And she said it was amazing, and that is what helped her up-level her world champion poker game. So there's another person who does it. And then I don't know if you've ever read anything by Daniel Pink. He's like my current favorite author right now. His most recent book is called When, which talks about timing. But he also has another book. Actually, it might be When. One of his books that I read recently, he talks about how they have business people who get together in meetings and they actually talk about, okay, picture us in 5 years. We're successful. What do we look like? And they take a deep dive into the future to find out what they need to do now. So this is a very well accepted practice. So if you're rolling your eyes and thinking, Shannon, you're a nut, I'll never do this, I want to invite you to think again because it works. I want you to, when you are looking for your dream, don't look at the past. That's not relevant anymore. Don't look now. It's not here. Look 5 years out in the future and ask yourself, I'm happy, I'm thrilled, I'm content. What do I see? Who am I with? What's happening in my life? And then the answer to those questions is going to help you to start plotting your course. Does that make sense? Does it sound crazy? If it sounds crazy, feel free to write it in the comments. But if it makes sense, give me a thumbs up or a heart. I love knowing that you're connecting with what I'm talking about. So, the real place to find your dream is in your future. And I promise if you ask, you'll get the information you need to connect with it. Thank you. Yes, thank you for the hearts. I'm glad that it's resonating with you. When I realized that my dream was missing, I didn't have one and I needed one fast, that exercise that I did with my coach helped me to plot my course. I enrolled in a coaching program, in a speaking program. I started taking myself seriously, and now that was back in 2015. We're in 2019 now, and I am thrilled to tell you that my dream is coming to pass. The things that I wanted so deeply that I didn't even know that I wanted are actually coming to pass in my life. I'm seeing the things that I wanted happen. And it's because I connected with that dream and my future self knew what I needed to do to be happy and to get there. So I hope that's been helpful for you. I have an offer for you. If you would like me to walk you through that half-hour exercise, I will do that gladly at no charge. It's the same exercise that I use with all of my clients, and I would love to walk you through that process. I'm going to have room for 5 people, and so the first 5 people who send me a Facebook Messenger that says, Shannon, I'd love to go through that exercise. Send me that messenger message, and I will send you a link so that you can schedule that half hour, and it would be my honor to help you to connect with your dream so that in 2024, you can be looking out and saying, yep, this is exactly what I wanted. I would love to share that with you. If I have anything else that I can offer you, you know how to find me. You can message me on Facebook. You can comment. You can send me an email at at shannonloverear.com. And a link to that is at my Facebook page, which is Support Life with Shannon Love Rear. Susan, I am so glad you jumped on. We are just wrapping up. But before we go, I have one last thing. I'm going to tell you what I hope to be a hilarious joke. And this is it. The bartender says, "We don't serve time travelers here." And a time traveler says, oops, I already messed it up. Okay, I tell terrible jokes. I'm just going to read it. The bartender says, "We don't serve time travelers here." A time traveler walks into a bar. Yeah, I tell jokes like my mom. She wasn't good at it either. Always well-meaning, but not always hilarious. So, yeah, if you pass that on, up-level it, okay? So, and don't credit me. No need. You guys are amazing. I'm so glad you jumped on. I'm so glad you stayed. Oh, good. A fake laugh. No, I'm going to trust that it was real. I'm so glad to have served you tonight. I'm glad to help you connect with your dream. Don't forget, if you'd like me to walk you through that half-hour dream exercise, I'd love to. I have room for 5 people, and all you have to do is message me in Facebook Messenger, and I will let you know how to make that happen. So, thank you so much. Mwah! I love you all. Have a great week. Bye-bye.